There are 13 Forsaken in the Wheel of Time books, and I will tell you about each one of them. This is going to be a series, so make sure to follow me. Let's start with Ishamael, Dark One's #1 champion, and during the Age of Legends, he was called Elan Morin Tedronai. So during the Age of Legends, Elan Morin was well respected and critically acclaimed theologist and philosopher, and when a group of Aes Sedai drilled the boar into the Dark One's prison and unleashed his influence, he put forth a theory that the battle between Lews Therin and the Dark One was going on since the creation, since the beginning of time, and that eventually the Dark One would always win. He believed that the endless cycle of the Wheel of Time will eventually lead to Dark One's triumph, and he thought it was the only logical choice to join him. Now, Elan Morin and Lews Therin were great friends before Elan Morin publicly declared himself for the Shadow in the Aes Sedai conference in the Hall of Servants. And because Elan Morin was so respected in the society, his pledge to the Dark caused such uproar and riots that people have started calling him Ishamael, which means betrayer of hope in the Old Tongue. So after Ishamael's conversion to the Shadow, he came to believe that he was always part of this eternal conflict between the Dark One and the Dragon, and throughout the ages he was serving the Dark One as his champion. It has been confirmed that the pattern would usually spin out their souls together, the Dragons and Ishamael's, and Ishamael is the only one who can equal Lews Therin's power. So when a war of power began, Ishamael thought as hard to turn Lews Therin to the Shadow as he did to defeat him. So when the Dragon was leading his final strike against the Dark One at Shio Ghul, Ishamael was partially trapped by the seal on the boar, and he was left aware and he was able to touch the world still, while every other Forsaken was sleeping. Despite Ishamael being sealed or trapped, somehow he was still able to visit Lews Therin after he killed his entire family and went completely mad. And mind you, this is happening in the prologue of the Wheel of Time, and the seals have already been put on the boar. So was Ishamael sealed at all or not? During the conversation, Ishamael was speaking about sealing in the past tense, so I'm not entirely sure how much time has passed between the sealing of the boar and Lews Therin going mad. But when Ishamael hailed him and Lews Therin realized what he did, he committed suicide, which led to Ishamael's waiting for his soul to be reborn again. So Ishamael was able to touch the world every 1,000 of years, and in the first book, when he first appears in Rand's dream, he said to him that he even influenced Arthur Hawken in his conflict with Aes Sedai. Apparently, Ishamael's machination also gave birth to the Shanshan Empire, but that's for another video. Ishamael met his end at book 3. He was defeated by Rand at the Stone of Tyr, but you know, in the Wheel of Time series, death is not final. Let me know your thoughts on Ishamael, and if you have any questions, let me know.